Okay, but seriously though. So I was processing my recent trip to Colorado with my therapist a few days ago, where I was telling her how I felt so anxious while I was there. Because my partner and I were driving through a lot of rural parts of Colorado, and I saw all these Trump signs, and it was just a bunch of white people. And as a person of color, as a woman of color who is very obviously looking like a woman of color, I've been put in many situations in my life in the past that I felt like I was not safe. And this was one of those situations. I was passing through a lot of farm towns that I just felt like I wasn't safe, like I couldn't leave the car. And I've traveled the world. I've traveled to different countries, and the only time I'll feel unsafe like this is when I'm traveling to different states in America, where it is not very diverse, and there's a lot of Trump supporters. You just get a lot of dirty looks. From my experience, I get a lot of looks from white people where they seem to be disgusted with my existence, like I don't belong there, like I should leave. And that doesn't make someone feel very safe. And while I was processing this with my therapist, I ultimately came to this conclusion of, well, maybe this is a sign for me to just stick to traveling to different places that are more diverse. And she just kind of said, well, hold on, you shouldn't have to limit yourself. You shouldn't have to change your life to cater to this fear of yours. And that comment kind of just upset me because I feel like what she said was valid, but not necessarily in this situation. I feel like that mentality is very idealistic. Therefore, it invalidates the real fears a lot of people of color and women of color have with traveling. I mean, yeah, I should travel to Alabama if I wanted to, but am I going to feel safe doing that? And yeah, I shouldn't have to change my life to avoid racism. But the truth of the matter is that I'll still face racism for the rest of my life. And that simple fact is hard to come to terms with. It's hard to deal with. And if there's things I can do to avoid that as much as possible for my own mental health and well-being, because there's many parts of the world that are diverse, and many parts of the world where I do feel safe in, then I am free to do so without feeling as if I am guilty for avoiding something or changing my life to cater to this. And this therapist goes on ahead to kind of tell me that I was being paranoid. She was like, how can we avoid these paranoid thoughts in the future when you travel? And I was just kind of stunned, you know? Like, these are true, valid fears for a lot of people of color. It just felt very gaslighty to me. Needless to say, I am not seeing this therapist anymore.